who would you say your top five like influences are in the rap game?
Okay.
Not
So
not
I would
not
say,
not your favorite, just like who's influenced you the most.
okay. All right, I'm gonna think about that because, all right, so I think definitely growing up I listened to a lot of Tupac growing up. A
Old
lot of
school.
old school rap. So, yeah, a lot of old school stuff and a lot of West Coast stuff. So my parents played a lot of music around me, and Tupac is definitely there. I really appreciate his ability to tell stories in his music and make situations that sometimes he even wasn't involved in, but make them relatable to a listener. I think that that's something that's really unique. Another old school but also still relevant artist I'd say is E40. I think that his wordplay is super unique.
He's
Um,
super old school.
yeah, like he's been around forever, like forever, and then he's still dropping albums now with like all the current artists.
He's,
So
he's more like one of the OGs of like rap, I would say actually.
yeah, absolutely, and he's ahead of his time always. So
Yep.
I'd say he's definitely someone who's like an influence as far as finding creative ways to tell stories, to describe his environment, and also make songs that are just fun to listen to. Um, Nowadays, I like Schoolboy Q a lot. I think another like West Coast rapper who does a really good job of storytelling. I'm also, I'd say, as far as like influences, I mean, J. Cole is another one of those artists who I think does a really good job telling
The
stories.
ultimate storyteller right there.
Yeah, he does like a really good job of just putting stories in like plain words, but making it creative, you know? And I don't know, I think that's something really unique. And then also this rapper from LA, King Lil G. I think someone I started listening to when I was in like middle school. And again, he carries on that West Coast storytelling tradition. And for me, I actually had a chance to open up for him when I was like 16 years old.
Wow.
So it was really cool because, at the time I was living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this is someone who I'd listened to since I was living in Oceanside in San Diego. And seeing that he had a concert in the area and being able to actually, open up for him at a time when I was taking my music a lot more seriously was super cool. And being able to see him on stage and also like be on stage, that was definitely an influential moment in my career.
Yeah, that's oh man, that sounds incredible. It's like it's I feel that's one of those moments where you're like, oh wow, like so my dream is coming true. And
Definitely.
you're having this like realization as it's happening though, at the same time. Like
Yeah.
I'm now realizing with this podcast, like I even only this is the sixth episode. I've had the ability to meet people that did not think I'd be able to meet.
That's dope.
Which one proves that maybe it's not as hard to meet people, but two, it's also like, oh, so it's like they're not as far away from us as we feel like they are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Did you also have that moment with that rapper where you're like, oh, he's not, he's closer to me than I realize.
I did because like this is someone who I'd listened to from a younger age. When I was like, I mean, I've always been like musical, but now that I was actually taking music seriously, and the chance for me to meet him didn't even come like backstage waiting in a line for something. Like I got there early for sound check, and he just walked in the door, and I said, "Hey, what's up? I'm opening up for you." And he's like, "Hey, what's up? Great to meet you. I'm excited to hear your music." I gave him a CD. He's like, "Dope. I'm gonna listen to this." And then just waiting, like while other people were opening up, there were other artists who were with him and who were featured on albums that I'd been listening to for like a year or two. And then the other artists were just talking to me, and I was like, well, "This is crazy. I was just listening to you, but not talking to me. I was listening to you on a record." So it was a dope experience, and really thinking, "Wow, like
Yeah, I had that moment in the third episode, I guess. This is the sixth, but in the third, I interviewed a comedian who has a small special on Netflix, and it's one of my favorite specials. Like, period. Just it's only 15 minutes. I just thought it was so funny, and then I'm like, I'm interviewing you right now. And in the moment, I held it together. I held it down, But in my head, I'm like, I'm interviewing you, right? You're having these moments like, oh god, but you can't act. You can't act starstruck, of course.
yeah, you got to just be like, you know what? I'm here for a reason. Like I also deserve to be here. You agreed to talk to me. I'm
Yeah,
agreeing to talk to you.
I know
In
there's
your mind,
gonna be a moment. I know there's gonna be a guest who I have who's just so big. I don't know when, but there's gonna be a guest where I'm like where I actively get starstruck and it's noticeable.
yeah. I mean, I think it happens to the best of us.
Did they know? Did you hold it together when you were open, like when you were meeting all those rappers, or were you like, nah, I'm just going full fanboy on them?
I mean, I hope I held it together. I was nervous in general because I was getting ready to go on stage at this one venue for the first time, but I had a lot on my mind, but I was at first I was like, yo, I can't. In my mind, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. But I think I was able to hold it together. I let him know like, yo, I appreciate you. I respect you for what you do for your music. I've been listening to it for a while, and also I'm excited to open up, and I'd love for you to listen to my music. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
I hope they saw that you were holding it together too.
I hope
Uh,
so. I ended up opening up for him the following year in Philadelphia, and then also in San Diego.
gotcha. Yeah.
So
So now you're best friends.
almost
We're
one
getting
day.
there. We're getting there. So those are what those guys are your top five, like just in terms of influences, right?
Yeah, I'd say as far as influences, either what I listened to growing up or appreciated growing up or even like influential moments in my career.